Primitive and system object types. Let's continue our exploration of the green data object model. There are two main types of objects in the system, from which user types can be inherited. These are primitive and system objects. A primitive object type is a special type of object designed to store a large amount of data. It is represented as a table and is an exception to the principle of inheritance. The primitive object type does not store the original data that is stored in the object and does not contain complex logic that is integrated in other types. All attributes described in the primitive type are inherited further if this type is expanding. But initially, there is only one attribute in the primitive object type that indicates which type of object it is. There are no expressions, algorithms, or attributes in the primitive object type. The primitive type is only used to store a large amount of data. It is most often used either for integration or for reporting, that is, displaying tables. Primitive objects do not use expressions and algorithms for checks, life cycles, and other things. Important to note that user cannot configure access rights of primitive objects. The use of functions for distributing or taking access rights to primitive objects is impossible. Primitive objects can be created with or without a surrogate key. The surrogate key is a prime number and can be used later to link a primitive object with other objects. In the system, primitive object types have the ASM prefix. Primitive objects can store, for example, data on performed user actions. The second important type is the system object type. The system object type is a built-in type used by the system to set its initial settings and adjust its behavior. System object types include everything that we work with when setting up the system. Things such as object types, various algorithms, print forms, BPMN charts, and everything that is stored in the system object types. In the system object registry, system object types have this corresponding checkbox, system object. Business analysts cannot edit system types, even with the administration rights. This can only be done at the level of the hard code. You cannot edit the system types, but you can work with instances of these types. Now we're going to show you some examples of the system object types. Here you can see the system object type autonumbering. This type is used for numbering objects in the system. Several instances of this type can be used within one application solution. Using autonumbering significantly simplifies the task of creating unique numbers. The calendar system object type is used in the system to determine working days and holidays. The maintenance notification system object type is used to notify all active users about the time of technical work. The formatting style system object type allows us to set the format of the displayed data. The configured object type formatting style is used in algorithms to allocate the necessary values, for example, in registries or data sources. The system object type file is used to work with uploaded files in the object card. It allows us to attach, view, or delete selected files. Custom object types can be created based on the system object types. To do this, when creating a new object type, you can specify the necessary system type as the parent. All the necessary system object types will be inherited and applied to the new object. System type objects can also be used. In this case, there is no need to create a new type of object. We just need to go to the registry of the system type and create a new instance of the object. So that were the main principles and functions of primitive and system object types on the Green Data platform.